Hello everyone, CrystalFissure here. Today I'm deciding to do another Spyro Reignited Trilogy video because it's been a while since I did the trailer analysis. I kind of want to make this a one-take Ratchet 5-esque rambly video, which might make you guys cringe a little bit because I'm just going to sort of do it in one take and kind of just get my sort of thoughts and opinions about a particular topic that is very, I would say it's very heated within the Spyro community. Luckily, I think that overall the community is full of good people, and you know, as much as I may disagree or agree, you know, with certain elements of what people say and stuff like that, I think that ultimately everyone wants the best for the Spyro the Dragon franchise. So what I wanted to talk about, and I'm going to look at some of these images as we go past and analyze them a little bit more in detail, but what I want to talk about is the two sides of the fence I think there is in terms of how to do a HD remake, remaster, whatever. And that is, one, staying faithful to the original in a very extreme, very accurate way, or a reimagining style, their own interpretation, the Toys for Bob interpretation, which gives them, I guess, more liberties to do what they want. Now, I'm going to get back to this image here, but I'm going to pop up an image here of this is Peacekeeper's home. And this is an example of, I'm going to talk about the images and then we'll go into the more general topic, because I haven't covered these images since everything's come out, and a lot of other guys have, so I thought I'd get my 2 cents out there. I'm gesturing like an Italian right now with my hands moving around. That's my inner Italian coming out, but you can't actually see me. I've got to get a webcam, got a new computer. Anyway, here is Dry Canyon. I mean, sorry, not Dry Canyon. This is, well, Dry Canyon may look similar, but this is Peacekeeper. Sorry. As I was saying, Peacekeepers looks really cool from this picture. I feel like they've got the colors right. I feel like, you know, it looks like the Peacekeepers, but at the same time, it you know, there's some new things in it, and I'll talk about that a bit more in depth later on. We'll come back to them and stuff. We've got a picture here of Ice Cavern, I believe. I mean, that's pretty much the only icy level in the game, apart from Icy Flight, so it's definitely Ice Cavern. I'm trying to think where it actually is. It looks like it could be... It's like, I guess it's in the, yeah, I'm thinking where it is, like towards the end of the level. I think it might be. That's what it looks like. We've got another picture of the Nork, and the Norks have been a discussion point as well. You know, polarizing, polar ice caps. I actually like the Norks, to be honest. I think that they're cool. I think that there's a lot more expression they can have, you know, in a modern engine. And then we have here this picture of, it was recently released, High Caves, and this is where I feel like the topic has really come to a head. So I'm going to talk about what side I'm on, if there really are, you know, sides, so to speak. Believe it or not, now, judging by what I've said about the Insane Trilogy back in the day, and just, you know, overall my strictness with Spyro in wanting it to be, you know, as perfect as possible because I have such high standards for it, you may be surprised to think that I'm actually on the side of Toys for Bob making their own interpretations of the source material rather than trying to directly copy 20-year-old graphical styles, lighting, and such like that. Now, we all know that lighting has come a long way in video game consoles since since the late 90s, of course. Even PS3 to PS4, I remember when that first came out, I was like, you know, what's the actual difference between PS3 and PS4 graphics? Like, I couldn't see that much, and this was back in 2012, of course. But then what you realize is that a lot of the changes, at least from my perspective, is that the lighting gets a lot better. And so with PS4 engine being even better than PS3, you're going to see a lighting engine in Spyro. When we actually, you know, play this game, you're going to see it being a lot more adaptive and powerful than it's ever been. And I think it will, by the time it's out, it will be the best looking Spyro game of all time. Even if you don't even like the graphical style of it, like if you don't like the fact that it's more got more of a cartoony style or a Skylanders style, as some people have tried to use that as an insult, I think that's actually, you know, if anything, okay. I mean, that's fine. I mean, like, Spyro was never meant to be some ultra realistic thing. I mean, it never could have been on the engine. Just as a brief segue, Giles Zambilis, the designer, one of the original concept artists for Spyro, who's recently been in the news lately, he actually said that the Reignited Trilogy interpretation of Spyro is actually more accurate than what they initially had, because he initially envisioned him being beefier and stuff like that. But again, restrictions of the time leave Spyro looking very, very, lots of polygons or less polygons and and very sort of edgy, not in that sense, like as in literally like edgy and like sort of cut and, you know, low resolution, of course. But, you know, so as an aside, I guess the point I'm making is that, you know, there's a lot of things that I think Insomniac would have done that would look more like this than they would on, you know, the PlayStation 1. So I'm not saying that Spyro should be totally different, everything should be completely different, it's, you know, entirely their own interpretation, don't look anything like the originals or anything like that. But going to this image here again, going back to Treetops, I'll tell you that this is to me, very close to the original, while still feeling new and, you know, in their own style, their own art style and such. I mean, I think that, look at the lighting on Spyro. You know, people complained about Spyro not being purple enough, or in a darker level like this, of course, the lighting reflects on him, and therefore he is a lot purpler. He's also a lot thicker than the original, if you know what I mean. Look at that gem thing over there. With, like, see that little gem statue thing? That's kind of cool. I like that. And the lighting in the huts as well. This is the kind of nuance that you simply cannot really get to the same level on PlayStation 1 hardware. So it's not to say that the original games looked worse. You know, in terms of like, oh, they clearly have no talent and, oh, it's, you know, it's like all the same colors. Absolutely not. It's just the limitations they were working with at the time. And let the record state that, to me, I genuinely believe that Spyro 1 to 3 are three of the most pretty looking PlayStation 1 games of all time, and translate into a modern day audience, and do hold up over the years because they were so competent. But now we have this new HD remaster, a remake, and they can do what the game did well, while also you know, using new techniques and new technology and such. So that's the first picture of Treetops. There's another picture of Treetops that I will get up now that's a little bit lower quality, unfortunately, but this is another massive example of how they've improved over the original. Look at all the grass there. You could say, well, technically that is not living up to what it was in the original. You could say, well, the original didn't have all the grass hanging out like that. I mean, that was because they physically could not do that at that level. So this is an example where the technology again is looking better. So the skybox in this level is quite pronounced to me. I think it looks, I just love it. I really like the screenshot, and I think overall so far from what I've seen, I'm most impressed with that actually. I'm most impressed with the Beastmaker's home world so far. Like Metalhead's gonna be crazy to me, I think, and Terrace Village I am extremely excited about. I don't know why, you know, like Terrace Village, honestly, kind of a forgotten level, but I think it's fantastic. Moving on, we'll take a look back at, I keep wanting to say Dry Canyon, but it's not Dry Canyon, it's the bloody Peacekeepers. I'm sorry guys. Looking at Peacekeepers here, look in the background particularly. What I really like is, firstly, you can see hiding behind the cannon there, turret, whatever, you can see the Peacekeepers design. Very briefly, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the flashing dudes as well. Hopefully in this you know, modern world, it's still okay for a Nork to flash airs. That would be of course very much needed. And actually, if you look up there, if you look at the top section there, you'll see that this reminds me of like some kind of like cantina, like almost Mexican like architecture. I mean, not architecture, that's probably a dumb thing to say really, but I don't know, it gives me that vibe. It gives me sort of an ethnic vibe to it, that's like, you know, not like an American style, not like, you know, because you may think that this is like a desert sort of south sort of level, like Texas or something like that, but really I don't think it is at all. I think it's got more of a, that kind of style, and I think it looks really cool. I like that they've added stuff to the original design. You know, the original level, it looks a lot more bare. Again, as I'm reinforcing, there simply is able to be more lore in this game because there's able to be more areas. And that's why when I talk about the high caves thing right in just a few quick seconds, you'll see that this is why I actually think that the reinterpretation, as opposed to being 100% faithful, is better for the future of the series. So here it is here. This is high caves. This is the image that some people are upset with because it's not the right colors. Now, I think it needs to be a little bit more purple. overall in the draw distance there, yes, I think that would be nice. I think that would be cool. But the thing is, what this level is providing, what Toys for Bob are now providing on, you know, a PlayStation 4, is simply more detail to the actual levels themselves. No longer are they just floating planes in the middle of nowhere. They're actually nuanced, massive levels in massive worlds. Now, levels like in Dreamweavers and stuff like that, in the manual, they do talk about how like it's a floating thing above the clouds and stuff like that, and that's fine, that's awesome. But you look at the Toasty screenshots, and if you look at that, you'll see that there's actually, that, you know, the skyboxes was, you know, basically were almost like doubles for what was meant to be, you know, those mountains and skyboxes and stuff like that, because they simply could not draw them in the background. So I think I talked about that briefly in the other Reignited video I did, but I just have to reinforce that. So when I look at High Caves here, okay, I look at the colors, I think, okay, they could maybe do a little bit better job changing, you know, making it a little bit more purple and stuff like that world. But when I look at all the mountains and stuff like that, I go, well, that's probably what Insomniac would have done had it been on the PlayStation 2, like, you know, like Ratchet and Clank, you know, having far much more detail than Spyro in terms of the environments, because it simply could. And then back here in Ice Cavern, I don't have too much to add about that, but I think that, yeah, again, I think it's cool, and I think that, look, again, Spyro is the quote-unquote right shade of purple here, because that's what the lighting is. There will always be, Spyro's going to be different colors and all sorts of levels because of the new lighting, because the atmospheric lighting. So I think it's very, very exciting. So guys, that's all I have to say about this. I've rambled on long enough. I thought I'd just do a video, just sort of letting you guys know that yes, I am paying attention to all of the Reignited Trilogy content that's coming out. I'm not doing videos on every screenshot, but I will do things when there's enough that comes together, because I want to make sure the video's long enough to keep you guys satiated for at least 10 minutes, as opposed to you know, just doing like a 1 minute thing. I want to kind of keep you guys, you know, keep you going. And there's plenty of other great channels that are doing stuff that are, you know, more, you know, every single screenshot and stuff like that, and lots of detailed analysis about that. So I'm not the only Spyro guy going around, which is great to see. You know, it's great to see that everyone wants to talk about Spyro. You know, I feel like we're at a point where, yeah, I mean, I don't think there's been any time where people have talked about Spyro more, really. I mean, like in the internet age, I guess, you know, probably maybe in the 90s, 2000s, stuff like that, people were talking about it, but, you know, not online. But yeah, it's great. And also just a brief reminder as well that if you guys are wondering why I haven't been as active lately as well, it's because I've been promoting and running the International Spyro Grand Prix tournament, which I will be putting up another race very soon. Me versus Noel, the rematch, the epic rematch, is going up in like 12 hours from when this is uploaded. Get ready to be excited for that. Is a crazy race, another really close race between me and Noel, and you'll never believe what happens. It's very good. But so definitely go check out ISGP. I would very much appreciate it, and we're actually getting some media attention on it. There's some articles about it, which is fantastic. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Go check out ISGP. Go subscribe. I'll put the link in the description. Check out my channel in the next few days as well for some upcoming stuff. There's going to be plenty more stuff. It's a very, very exciting time. And hopefully we get some more screenshots from Reignited Trilogy, or even Spyro 2 and 3. I mean, the floodgates are going to open with that one, that's for sure. The floodgates are going to go crazy. I think the whole reinterpretation versus a faithful debate is not over, and if I do another video about that, this will become a part 1 video of a 2 or 3 part series, because I guess I'll have to see Spyro 2 and 3. Like, I could see something from Spyro 2 and 3 and just be absolutely horrified, so you never know. Anyway, guys, I was going to do on this at least rambling outro there. I was going to say keep on gaming, but I don't really have an outro. But yeah, thanks for watching. See you later.
Luchadors. We're training at the gym. Thought we could put on a few shows.